Now, on that note, you're welcome to our debut segment of Nigerians in Diaspora, a new segment on Network Africa which showcases and celebrates the works which Nigerians living abroad do, which impact positively on Nigerians right here at home in Nigeria. Well, making her debut on Network Africa and Channels Television is the proprietor and founder of Mentors for Me, Mojisola Shonde. She joins us from Texas. Mojisola, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure indeed. Now, just before I get to ask my questions, Mojisola, I'd just like to explain to our viewers what exactly Mentors for Me is all about. Well, Mentors for Me is a non-governmental organization which is primarily set up to create an online and offline platform for young people and teenagers to have personal mentors in different areas of life which are of interest to them. Mentors for Me is accessible to secondary school students and kids who've got questions about career choices, relationships, health, etc. Mentors for Me is also a non-governmental organization and also a non-profit, and also plans to start the first case competition for undergraduate students to foster entrepreneurship and to have an M4M innovation lab which could support startups. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about this, but I'll let Mojisola, who is the founder, to do more explaining herself. Moji, thank you very much again for joining us on the program. And I'd like to start by asking you about your background. You have more of a banking and finance background. What exactly sparked your interest, to start up an NGO catering to the mentorship needs of children and young teenagers?
So let me just say I'm that child that grew up wanting a mentor so badly. So I was the first girl. I didn't have an auntie or, that young adult to talk to about many things and making decisions, So I kept making my decisions my way. I've not had a bad life, but, there are some things I felt like if I had someone to talk to at some point, it may have been better. So yeah, I have a banking and finance background. I read accounting in school. I did my ICANN. I was chartered at 20. I started my career in ExxonMobil, moved on to Accenture, and then I worked with GT Bank. But one of the things that happened to me that could have been, if I was more informed, I could have made a better decision, was working with in marketing in GT Bank as a chartered accountant. I had the opportunity to work at PwC and KPMG.
But Moji, I'm sorry at this point. I don't mean to cut you short at all, but I based on the time that we've got, we do know your background, but I'm asking, you've given us a basis for what you're doing at this point, seeing that you lacked a mentor. Yes. So how difficult was it to start an NGO, because that is something that doesn't exactly come cheap?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so all the time I've been in the US, I've been thinking of how I can help people who may be going through what I'm going through. And I just had this passion to start the NGO. I got a lawyer to do all the registration. I got a team of people to work with me and people who bought into the vision of Mentors for Me. And that's how we kicked up. We've had one of few events we've organized so far. We decided to have our online platform very active because as it is, we are not in the country. So we have our website and all our social media platforms up and active to help us get the traction we need to be successful.
So how old is Mentors for Me? Because I know you're pretty young. I know that correct. For sure. How old is Mentors for Me?
I would say we had our first coming out in October last year, but it's a vision that was already budding from October 2014.
What exactly are your goals? Does this go beyond providing mentors for teenagers and young children? Is there more that you have in store or that you hope to achieve besides providing people with mentors?
Yes, so we want a situation where beyond having mentors, people are more directed, they have more direction as to what they want to do, and we want a more productive Nigeria. So one of the many things we do you see on a website is have resume writing, help young people in the university get ready for internships while in school, work with our corporate sponsors or corporate companies on our platform to get people to have internships. Even by the case competition, what we intend to do is having young people be more aware of what's happening in their environment. So if we have a case competition, for example, in the health sector, we're going to write in a case study on something or a challenge currently faced in the health sector. Have 4 or 5 people come together as in teams to solve this case competition. And given that these are young adults in school, the idea is these people are more aware of what's going on in their environment and they're useful in providing information and solutions to it. And the Innovation Hub is something we have a vision for where people, entrepreneurs and young people can be in an environment where they can have access to the basic things that aid productivity, talking of power.
Well, Mojisola, we sincerely appreciate your time. I'm not too sure what happened there, but that's our debut segment of Nigerians in Diaspora with Mojisola Shonde, the founder of Mentors for Me. The Pan-Arab TV network Al Jazeera is suing Egypt, saying the closure of its business and harassment of its journalists there had caused losses of more than 150 million. The international arbitration claim on behalf of the Doha-based channel is being lodged under the jurisdiction of the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes in Washington. Thousands of activists, as well as several journalists, have been detained since then. And since then, Army Chief and now President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi overthrew his predecessor, Mohamed Morsi. Network Africa has reached out to Al Jazeera PR team, and they have confirmed the above, but have no further comment due to the sensitive nature of the subject. And on that note, that's where we come to an end on this edition of Network Africa. Many thanks for watching. I'm Cynthia Are.